just now tuning in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell. GMS fam, the green room. Let's talk about it. Yo, GMS fam, the green room. What's happening, y'all? Hope y'all having a nice cloudy Friday, and I'm not talking about the weather. You know what time it is. I see you, Aboriginal T. I see you, Ben Slim, Brim Dog. I said Brim Slim. Ben Slim, Brim Dog, JJ Arias, Baby G. What's going on, y'all? Today is Thursday, and I am here to have a conversation with y'all, man. I'm not doing the music review tonight. We gotta put that on hold for a second. I gotta make sure everything is proper with that. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of dope artists come through, but I want to make sure that these episodes of the music review don't get copyright stricken for some of the music. So I'm gonna need people that send in music to send in original music if you want me to continue to do the music reviews, which have been very good and have been very entertaining and very, very dope to do. So I want to make sure we continue to do it, but I want to make sure everybody has original music to send in as well. So, but with that said, we start out every podcast with peace, love, and positivity, good energy. We hope that you are passing it forward just like I'm passing it off to you. Hope everybody's reaching their goals. Hope everybody is getting to the money, man. Just staying positive. Get that good energy in you, man, and make some shit shake today. Now, a few days ago, I talked about Freddie Gibbs and Akademiks going back and forth on social media. And when you thought it was done, shit kind of went left. Not all the way left. I feel like if things went left, it'll mean somebody is getting fucked up. Somebody's getting hurt. But in this instance, man, I want to be able to be transparent with what I'm saying. I want to be able to see it from both sides, both angles, because I'm not trying to demonize Akademiks. I'm not trying to make Akademiks look like a big lame or whatever the case may be. I'm just seeing it from my lens, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I know other people have other opinions about Akademiks, and I know people are fans of him, and some people have their opinion on how certain people should move. But welcome, DG. But I want to speak on this myself, because I feel like there's a way to move around, and a lot of people don't understand that you can justify how people react or what people say to somebody else who's saying something to them, but at the end of the day, ego drives a lot of people, and majority of those people are people that are notable individuals, such as Akademiks. Now, Akademiks has money now. Akademiks has been able to smash some of the girls that he would have never smashed if he was just a regular Joe. Is now in a state of, hey, I can say what I want to say. I can protect myself. I got security that will legally hurt you or kill you if need be. So I feel protected enough to talk my shit. Now, I understand that from a certain point. Now, don't just let nobody say whatever they want to you. You don't have to be, now let me make it clear, you don't have to be a gangster. You don't have to be from the streets to be a person, to be a man that doesn't allow somebody to say shit to you and you to be able to say it back. That has nothing to do with street rules. That has nothing to do with the hood. That has everything to do with being a man. Let's get that out of the way right now. So, I'm not saying, and I'm not going to repeat this, I'm not saying that Akademiks cannot respond to when somebody is either trolling him, talking shit, or whatever the case may be. How you respond is a different story. Now, I know some people say you can't dictate how somebody responds to somebody that says something to you, starts something, triggers something. But as grown men, and if you know yourself, and you know what you're about and what you're not about, there's certain ways to respond to something. Either you do, and you respond accordingly, or you don't. Or you respond and it's off the wall. Now, what I'm about to play for you, or matter of fact, let me show you. I'm going to show you first. Let me start out there. First of all, this is what we talking about. Freddie Gibbs versus Akademiks right now. The Twitter beef continues, and here we are. Let me move these guys over here. Hold on. Let me move Frederick and what's his name? What's his real name again? Freddie. Fuck. What is Akademiks' real name? Livingston. There we go. Livingston. That's his name, Livingston. So Frederick and Livingston. It's funny because he tried to be like, yo, Frederick, called him Frederick like his fucking name isn't Livingston. But anyway. Freddie Gibbs went on Twitter yesterday and he said, I got you right where I want you, boo. You can say what you want. You can say what you want to say about me on here or on Twitch, but you gave a girl the Popeyes address. Stop sending me texts talking about I'm going to get locked up fucking with Akademiks. I know he police, but I will scrape this nigga, get out on parole, and be a hero. Then he said, I'm the only nigga in rap that can get this much of your time. I'm flattered. And then he went on to call him the B word. Okay, my dad was a cop. Great. I said that 4 albums ago. My guy said, I got you, boo. You always gonna be my bitch on Twitter and in person, Akademiks. Go get your security up. Let us see them titties. just trolling Akademiks, man. He was just trolling Akademiks, just going back and forth, just fucking with him, right? It got under Akademiks' skin so much that Akademiks was on here talking a whole bunch of shit. Now, I get it. Responding is responding, but now it took it to a point which we talked about a few days ago. How the way that it ended up, the way that it's transpired. Now, I'm not saying, once again, I'm not saying that Akademiks cannot respond to somebody, but it's how you respond. See, if Akademiks is not part of the street life, if Akademiks is a civilian, if Akademiks will make sure that he will call the police if you ever harmed him. These are all things that Akademiks has said. Akademiks even said that he wouldn't be talking this way if a Lil Durk or if a so-and-so, another person who he knows is about that life, apparently that he knows is about that life, he said he wouldn't be talking like this. He wouldn't be replying to them like this at all. So this is him saying, and it's not just about him replying. This is him now challenging somebody in his reply to them proving who they say they are in their raps. Don Philly says, why everyone keeps picking on Act, people know he's not like that at all. I guess, but if he's, you know what? Let me put it this way. I can show you better than I can tell you. Now let me block this off, man, because I know YouTube is going to be on some shit with this. All right, YouTube's gonna be on some shit with this, so I'm just gonna put this up here. And I'm gonna make sure we see this without YouTube having to block us. All right, let's put this up too.
Oh boy, it's your boy these Akademiks. Welcome to another episode of Off the Record Podcast. Man, it's gonna be a solo episode, people. Okay, this is a time and a state of emergency that I must declare, because PSA for anyone that doesn't know, it's a time of beef, and in time of beef, you must move a certain type of way. Now, first and foremost, lace up your bootstraps and make sure you put on your helmet. I'm here secure and safe as fuck in my 90 feet under.
Millie said, this is America and he's a blogger. He said his opinion that Gibbs is irrelevant. Gibbs was mad because he knows Act's influence. If some other blogger or media person said it, he wouldn't care. The thing is, Act is calling Freddie Gibbs irrelevant from the standpoint of him only looking at who's hot right now. I don't think Freddie Gibbs is irrelevant at all. But I think that during that conversation, you know, Act pays a lot of attention to numbers and who does this and how many units you sold the first week type shit. Not about like whether or not you're making a long lasting impact on the industry or on the culture or not. It's more so about what you're doing right now. And I get that. Nick Wilson said Gibbs took the L. Now everyone gonna clown him when he tweet because he ain't smoke Akademiks like he said he would. This why rappers don't want to beef with Act, because unless you do something to him after threatening, you look weak. That's why Meek squashed the beef. I don't think people understand, like, all right. I don't know how somebody could take an L by explaining that they could have done something to somebody but didn't. But I'll put it to you this way. You say Freddie Gibbs will take the L for not doing shit and tweeting, but then he'll take the L for actually doing something to just a blogger and somebody who's not about that life. It's a lose-lose situation with people that look up to someone like Akademiks. They pride themselves on talking shit behind a computer screen or behind their phone. They type talking shit. And you got a lot of people who are infatuated with the hood, infatuated with being a gangster, sitting there talking about how Gangster Gibbs or Freddie Gibbs ain't this or that, and he ain't and he won't do this or he ain't get his get back. You don't understand his fan base. Like, a lot of people that take up for Akademiks are the type of people who are scary in real life. So they're the type of people to be like, yeah, Freddie Gibbs, man, he took the L, and Freddie Gibbs, he ain't shit. Look at him, he spin the block, he an internet gangster. Talking to somebody who really has a record. And it's very easy to look it up. It's funny because, like, people's information is very public, especially when you have been locked up before. And especially when you are on, and when you have several cases and several charges. Like, Freddie has gun charges, drug charges, all types of shit. Motherfucker got sent to the army on a pre-trial program and got dishonorably discharged because the nigga was caught smoking weed. Like, this motherfucker didn't give a fuck. I'm just saying, like, it's not hard to look up somebody's record. And the fact that people that listen to Akademiks won't do that due diligence, where they'll just sit up there and listen to the things Akademiks has to say. They'll form this opinion about Freddie Gibbs. And then that will send somebody like Freddie to actually do something or get something done to Akademiks to prove a point that Akademiks is trying to get him to prove. See, Freddie's not trying to, that's what people get fucked up. Freddie's not trying to prove that Akademiks is a bitch. He's not trying to prove that Akademiks is a hoe or that Akademiks is not about that life. Freddie Gibbs is talking shit. Now, what Akademiks is doing is trying to prove that Freddie Gibbs ain't shit and Freddie Gibbs is just an internet gangster and Freddie Gibbs ain't never done shit in his life. That's what he wants to be proven. And we're talking about somebody who isn't apparently about that life. Now listen to what he has to say about Freddie, and let's keep going.
Ground bunker that's surrounded by adamantium steel, and I got all type of bars by the window because I'm currently going through a beef with a real street nigga. Okay, now it's another one of these rappers. He says he's gonna kill me. Actually, to quote him exactly, he said, yo, I could have smoked Akademiks. I mean, does that mean anything but the obvious? So I'm prepared for war, which means I'm just hiding. Now, like, listen, I'm joking, ladies and gentlemen. In reality, this individual that
That's my point right there. You just proved my whole point, Millie. You proved my whole entire point with your statement. What you just said right here. But there is no way Freddie would ever pull up on Ak. That's why he tweets instead. He was trying to be funny, but backed himself in a corner to where now he has to do something or people will say fake G. Now, why would Freddie Gibbs be called a fake G for not doing something to somebody who doesn't claim that life? Tell me that. If Freddie Gibbs, like, this is the thing, if a gangster nigga does something to a average civilian motherfucker that's not about that life, they don't get no stripes for that. They don't get no kudos, they don't get no brownie points, they don't look cool. This is what I'm saying. It's a lose-lose. Pay attention to what I'm saying. It's a lose-lose if Freddie Gibbs was to do something or if he didn't do something. So he knows that. See, people took it over beyond because they looked at what Freddie said and took it as literal, like, oh, he really wants to kill Nigga, who wants to kill Akademiks? Nobody wants to kill Akademiks because they know he's not about that life. But that proves my point into what I'm saying. Akademiks is trying to make himself look better in a situation he knows he's terrified of. That's the whole point. And he knows he can do that because he has the money to have security and have protection around him. But let's keep going.
Actually gonna expose. Let's just start off by exposing them, okay? We're the same people. We're civilians, except he's portraying a role because he's selling records to do it. Me, I actually bare my soul. I don't care if people call me a bitch at times. Like recently with this Brittany Renner thing, they're like, yo, Ak is a real one. Whatever people call me, you could just say Ak is being himself. But there's a lot of people in music and in rap that live through facades and perception. This guy is definitely one of the biggest frauds. Now, his name is Freddie Gibbs. Okay, that's his rapper name. But his actual name is Frederick Tipton. Now, I got to give you the history on this guy because you would be shocked if you heard his lyrics. I know you'll never listen. You'll never Google it. You won't even look here on Spotify to find it. But if you hear his music, you would think that this guy has 100 bodies. He's moved thousands of kilos of coke, meth. He's the biggest drug dealer since Pablo Escobar, but such is the case with many of your favorite rappers who are portraying and lying to you about who they really are. Now, after I realized...
That's hilarious to me when people say that Ak knows who's real and not. You're talking about somebody who's not involved with the streets at all and only dealing with industry guys. He doesn't deal with anybody in the actual streets. Don't get it confused. Akademiks is not in the hood kicking it with regular hood niggas. He only involves himself with rappers and artists who claim that street life. So when you say that he only knows about real niggas, that's false. That is very false.
I realized this guy had real issues with me. I had to do some investigation. Okay, ironic, ain't it? I had to figure out who he really was. Is he really like that? Because I pride myself.
And let me answer that. I said that in the beginning. Ak said, I would never say this to somebody who's really about that life. How does he know Freddie's not about that life? How does he know that these guys are really about that life? Has he seen these guys put in work, or does he just listen to their music and believe what they saying? Or he hears about the shit he reports on when it comes to certain artists who are about that life? I don't know what he based it off of. When somebody doesn't come from the streets and somebody's not a gangster themselves, I wouldn't try to take their word for who's real and who's not real.
To win every battle,
in my
you
opinion,
must know your opponent. you got to know who you're going against, all right? For example, if I'm beefing with, I don't know, Lil Durk and them, I'm not even going to be tweeting at them niggas, okay? I'll be enlisting the help of the police and the FBI to make sure I'm safe, okay? Because them niggas are actually about that shit. Listen, when I was going back and forth with Young and Ace, the moment Young and Ace said, hey, you like my song, I was like, yeah, I do. I didn't want to beef with no Young and Ace. Young and Ace, they're real steppers in Jacksonville. I don't want to go back and forth with them, okay? Listen,
How does he know that? How does he know that? Let me take a wild guess and say maybe their record. Maybe their criminal record. So if you're basing people's real thug activity, them being a real gangster off of their record, because he wasn't out there in Jacksonville with them running the streets. He wasn't out there watching the shit that they was doing. All he did was hear what they said in their songs and probably looked up their record. Now, it's very easy to look up a felon's record. It's very easy for me to pull up Freddie Gibbs' record and to see his gun charges and his drug charges. It's very easy for me to do. But let's keep going.
Some real characters within this hip hop stuff that you realize that what they're rapping about, they're actually about.
Actors with street people
there's
a lot.
still a few.
Who? Name them. I want you. Hey, Millie, name the street people he's with, and don't name a rapper. Do not name one rapper. Name street people that Ak is with, and that he hangs out with, and that he knows is about that life. Name those people he hangs out with, and do not name a rapper. I will wait.
As gangsters, basically civilians,
and you might know
who are portraying
but let's
to
find
be
out.
Gangsters. And we got one today to expose. It's Freddie. Okay, now Frederick Tipton. And I'm going to tell you why I'm giving this government name and giving the history of him. His father is a police officer. Now, I just want to paint the irony of this whole thing. A kid who grew up playing with his father's badge, handcuffs, police uniform, and gun, and also took allowance that came from his father's police salary, said, what should I do with all of these things at my disposal?
Do you hear how he's making this story up? This is actually kind of amazing how he started making the story up. For those who don't know about Freddie Gibbs, they would actually believe that this was something that actually happened. They actually believe that this is something that actually happened. I don't want to use what I personally know. I'd rather people just kind of figure it out for themselves, but it's just crazy how the way that he's putting this, because of course he has an audience, so he wants people to sway his way and believe that Freddie Gibbs is an actual internet gangster, which is fucking insane to me. But let me see. Oh, I see I got Young Rain in here to defend King Akademiks. What up, Young Rain? He said Freddie not that gangster. He shot a junkie, and people believe that. Freddie Gibbs said that shit on a where did he say that? He said that shit on a podcast, and everybody went crazy and actually think that he meant that. I can't believe people actually believe that shit. He said that on Joe Rogan. You think Freddie Gibbs is gonna go on Joe Rogan to talk about how he shot a crackhead? Listen to the context of what he was talking about. It was a joke. Just because Joe Rogan didn't laugh because he's a white man that doesn't understand hood nigga sense of humor doesn't mean he wasn't joking, bruh. Freddie Gibbs didn't shoot no fucking crackhead like he said. That was stupid. I didn't say that. I said name a rapper. I said name somebody that's not a rapper who Akademiks will say that is street dude that he hangs out with. This is what I'm saying. This is industry shit. You got to see where I'm leaning you towards. Like, it's not about whether he's ever been around real niggas or not. I know Ak has been around real niggas before. I've seen him with real niggas before, but these are rappers. And they aren't active in the street like that. And he's not active in the street like that. He's not out there with them. When he's with these people, it's for media shit. It's for industry shit. It's not just because he's, hey, let's go hang out on O Block, Lil Durk. Do you think Akademiks has ever been to O Block and he got famous off of talking about Chicago beef? Tell me how the fuck you can get famous off of that and get notoriety off of it. You ain't even been there. Talking about, he said, I know where he said that. He said Freddie hasn't did one thing that was street or considered to be hard or real. Like I just said, my nigga, look up Frederick Tipton. That is his name. Frederick Jamel Tipton. Look up his record. Because this is what I'm saying. If you want to know if somebody is, right, you're basing their record. You talking about what they've done or not. If he didn't have a record and just talked about everything he did, then you can have some speculation of whether or not he was really about that life. But look up his record. I'm telling you, I looked it up. I seen it. I seen it with my own two eyes. They give his current address where he lives now in the hills in California. They give his Gary, Indiana address. They give his full name, his parents, his brother, all that shit. I know them niggas. I looked up his record. Just look it up. That's all I'm asking. I don't have to say it. You look it up. Right. Rogan thought he was telling a story. Like, motherfuckers really thought that was real. That's why Rogan was like, oh, gosh. Have you ever said a joke in front of a white person they thought you was being for real? Come on now. He said that. No, I like objective people in here. I fuck with Young Ray and I fuck with Millie. They both know this. We have objective conversation. But let me finish the video, actually. Let me get the video going. He went
to a fucking studio to make up a fake
because
persona.
the reason I'm playing this video, I want y'all, the people that, whether you support Ak or don't, let me put you in a situation. Let's say you said something about somebody and they reacting like this and they're testing you. They're testing you now to the point where they're trying to test you in a way where you have to prove something. What are you going to do?
Of being some type of gangster. Now, listen, it's the reason why they say opposites attract, right? The guy basically grew up in a household where a police officer is his father, but he's still intrigued and enthralled by the lifestyle that supposedly the people his father.
You could tell this dude has no idea what the fuck Gary, Indiana is like. Does anybody know what the fuck Gary, Indiana is? No matter if your dad was a cop, a doctor, a nurse, a veterinarian, a professor at a college. Trust me.
Trying to catch on a daily basis live. So he goes to the studio, he's rapping all these DuckTales, you know what I mean? Like he's moving all his weight. You listen to his music, this motherfucker talking like, yo, like listen, he know the real Noriega, okay? He been moving weight across the Atlantic, across the Pacific. Like this nigga is talking the talk, okay? Not to mention that, if you listen to his music, you would think this is one of the most violent motherfuckers known to man. Probably 100 bodies under his belt, okay? Again, this guy is just like Akademiks, civilian. But in rap, it's all about fooling the audience. Now, let me tell you what ended up happening.
That's a better question for the people that support Ak. What if Freddie Gibbs did do something to Ak? Then what? So if Freddie Gibbs is lame now, Freddie Gibbs is taking the L now. He looked dumb. He ain't about shit. He really not a street guy. He an internet guy. What happens now after something happens to Akademiks? Then what would you think about Freddie Gibbs? Because in my opinion, now I would look at Freddie Gibbs different. I would be like, man, that's some sucker shit. Because of course, Akademiks you don't get no points for that. It's Akademiks.
I'm gonna give you the story of Freddie Gibbs. So Frederick Tipton, okay, aka Frederick Gibbs, he gets into rap by rapping all these fucking lies. People kind of believe it. Now, the people near where he grew up at, because he grew up in like Gary, Indiana, who's really from the hood, and this is how it works in most places. The hood will see you like, yo, you a bitch ass nigga, you not really about it, but will give you a pass as long as they could get a check off of you, okay? So they align with Freddie and they're getting a check off Freddie. And by the way, if you want to go Google it. You'll see them actually telling the facts. At a point, his
like
quote-unquote hood was with him saying, yo, he's a real one. Everything he rapped about, he did. Now, clearly they were lying for him, okay?
Which I will say is smart on Akademiks. This is why this was smart of Akademiks to do. I can't lie. Even though it bugs me that he will challenge somebody he knows that he won't last with out there in the street. We know. Now, the one thing that's bothering me is people actually trying to question whether or not Freddie Gibbs is really about that life or not, when I know personally that shit is real. But that's just people trying to shift the narrative. That's what the industry is. They like to shift the narrative about people. But I will say Ak is smart for taking this route because he knows, like we said, we all know that Freddie, that he's talked about how if anybody did anything, he'd call the police, or how he was, or how he loved to get a bag off a motherfucker. He loved to get a bag off of one of these rappers that got money who will want to put hands on him. He's professed that. We know that about him, but taking this route is going to have to force somebody's hand. He's either going to have to force Freddie's hand or not. And I would prefer Freddie not to do shit. I can give a fuck if the internet thinks I'm a pussy. All you have, like I said, all you got to do is Google that man's
he stopped paying them.
History.
They told the truth. Yo, this guy never did nothing that he rapped about, and now that he stopped paying us, let me give y'all the goddamn truth. Now, I'm only giving that context to say this. He gets into rap, and because he's not who his music is portraying himself to, or who he is not what his music is portraying, he runs into issues when he starts sneak dissing other rappers.
I can't lie. I have fun having these conversations with y'all. I fuck with
man?
everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to y'all.
Sneak dissing, that's that shit I don't like. Now, you was sneak dissing a rapper named Jim Jones. Y'all should know him. He's from New York. Sneak dissing him on Twitter. Yes, even in 2014, 2015, Freddie Gibbs was a internet warrior, just like me, okay? He probably didn't have Twitch, but he had Twitter. Okay, in 140 characters, he would say the meanest and worst things about you. He would say everybody else's music was trash. He would say that niggas wasn't as real as him. But of course, here's the difference between me and him. I'm in my nice little bunker. I ain't got to go outside. He had to go and do shows. So he was doing a show at a record store. Like, literally, the record store could only hold about like 20 people. I kid you not. Go look this up. He did the show, but it was in, I don't even know if it was the hood of
Akademiks Gooey
Jim
Raccoon
Jones, but it was
Jr.
definitely in New York. And I don't know if Jim Jones had anything to do with this, or maybe somebody who knew Jim Jones, like, you know, felt the need to kind of handle a situation, because it was a rapper basically calling Jim Jones pussy and basically saying Jim Jones is trash. Maybe somebody felt they had to do something about it. But after he performed in this record store in front of 20 people, he was in a car and a bunch of people shot it up. Okay, now he wasn't shot. His two homies were shot, right? He ran out of the car in his sandals. And I know this story gets a little dark because I don't really want to go all the way there, but in reality, his quote-unquote sneak dissing and internet antics got his man's shot. Now, did he stop? Did he learn his lesson? No, he didn't. Went back online, kept doing the same things, except he was a little bit more smarter, okay? He was picking and choosing his actual targets, and until I said a very harmless comment about him, and by the way, if you don't know him as well, he was with Jeezy at a point. So he was with and signed to Young Jeezy. They fell out. He hated Jeezy for whatever reason, and he continues to hate him. But while I was on Everyday Struggle, like around like 2018, 2019, I made a comment that, yo, why is he sneak dissing Jeezy? Now, he's been sneak dissing people for years. I told you what happened when he sneak dissed another rapper. But Jeezy, who's trying to be removed from a lot of stuff, he's trying to live a better life, he has not responded to the likes of Freddie Gibbs. Now,
Hey, Taj, hey, that's another thing. Taj, I'm not gonna repeat your comment, but if y'all see what Taj Dollars just said, my family's from Gary. My mom's side, everybody on my mom's side, my mom, all them, everybody on my mom's side is from Gary. All right, I still got aunties, I still got uncles, I still got a whole bunch of family that still live out there in the same spot, Glen Park, all that shit. I know what part of what the east side of Gary that Freddie's from, and I know motherfuckers that is still cool with him to this day. Niggas know about the shit that Freddie used to do back in the day. Nolan Power said GMS, the thing Ak is going to do, he's going to get these internet folks charged up and somebody going to try Freddie. Then what? Is Ak going to give them money to get out the trouble? No, because that person might be smoked. Because at that point, it's self-defense. Don't run up on Freddie. That's another thing you won't do. Don't run up on him.
Me calling,
because he will bring up, Ak will bring up Freddie's beef with Young Jeezy and other shit like that. But people forget, it took Jeezy years to respond to Freddie. Freddie was on Jeezy's neck, every tape, album, all that shit, saying whatever the fuck he wanted to. And we talking about somebody who we know is also about that life, apparently. And if Jeezy's not, the people he's around might be. And Freddie never got touched by them. That's all I'm saying.
That out saying, hey, yo, you shouldn't be dissing, sneak dissing Jeezy. Also, he called Jeezy relevant. Essentially, Jeezy sold the same amount that he sold. So I said, if Jeezy's irrelevant, you're irrelevant. And that triggered Young Frederick. Now, Young Frederick has been overtly threatening me since about like 2019. Now, listen, I'm not sitting here playing victim and be like, oh my God, help me out. But I just want to point this out. The guy who we're talking about, who had his whole career funded by his father, who was a police, right? Who also sneaked this another rapper till him and his homies got shot. They did nothing about it. By the way, they know who did it. They know all that, those facts. Did nothing about it. Is now trying to pick and use his platform, which is still Twitter, to intimidate me. Okay?
I can believe that too,
Now,
Young Ray.
we went back and forth, and this is where I'm going to be so honest, and I've learned a lesson in this. We went back and forth in, I believe, like 2020, last year. And when we went back and forth on Twitter, I'm going to be honest. I think this motherfucker got me. And I'm going to tell you why he got me. Because I forgot the fundamentals
Freddie lives in
that
LA.
made me me and what made me win on the internet. When he was getting at me, I was triggered by certain shit. I was super, upset. And if you know anything about the internet, the person who cares the least or seems to care the least or seems the less triggered wins. It's not who has the best argument. And for whatever reason, maybe just coming off of being on Everyday Struggle, I thought it was the points that counted. Fuck the points. We've seen it in actual beef when it came to like Drake and Meek. Yes, Drake did have a dope ass diss song, but of course he clowned Meek to death. That's really what won the beef, the memes. So Freddie Gibbs is fucking killing me with memes. I'm trying to kill him with facts, but nobody gives a fuck. The memes are too funny. So I could be honest. I was down bad.
This is the meme that killed him.
Plus the Chrissy Teigen thing, it just happened. Complex is looking at me like, damn, yo, we're getting a lot of pressure because we got our own, sexual harassment thing going on here. I get suspended, not fired, suspended. And I'm like, damn, as much as I like going back and forth with whoever wants to go back and forth with me, I have to chill. I can't go back and forth with this motherfucker no more. So I was down bad. I was 0-3 to this guy, Freddie Gibbs. Now, again, this is why I'm really clowning this dummy now, because I think he lost the 3-0 lead. I've never seen this before. Unless, did the Cavs? Didn't the Cavs come back from 0-3 with the Warriors? Anyway, I went to LA like last week. You guys saw, I interviewed everybody. Aiden Ross, Soulja Boy, DJ Vlad, Adam 22, Van Lathan. And when I came back to the East Coast, Frederick Gibbs, who apparently is trying to promote a project, just randomly name drops me. He's like, yo, Akademiks, nigga, I knew when you was in LA. I knew the spot you was at. I could have pulled up on you, and I could have smoked you. And any of the niggas who you was with was going to let it happen. Now, this was like how to be like an internet thug 101. It's like saying what you could have done and like also saying very public things that
I've said I didn't like Young Ray. I don't know why you said that. He said, yo, just say you don't like it. I've said that. I've said that several times. I don't know why people hide from that. I'm not hiding from it. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't. I said that. I said that shit. He said, put up the info on Freddie crew getting smoked. You mean one of his crew members getting shot in the hand? People get shot every day, B. What was he supposed to do after 6ix9ine made that public info for the police? Oh, let me go ahead and let me go and get my get back on somebody who now everybody knows I have beef with, even the police, because a fucking Fed is the one that told everybody. You know you feeding off the information of a rat, right? Young Ray? I just wanted to make that very clear, because Akademiks, the only reason that situation is known is because 6ix9ine told about it. That's all. That's all. And then people that aren't about that life talking about some why he didn't shoot back. Niggas wouldn't even go out and shoot a squirrel. Don't talk about somebody going to shoot back. What the hell? I'm not finna go talk about nobody shooting back because I ain't going out nowhere and shooting people. So why the fuck do I care if somebody is going to shoot somebody back? That makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. I mean, academics not being afraid on the internet means nothing. Exactly. It's the safe space. We all know this. It's a safe space to talk shit from, especially for people that are really scared in real life. It's the safest place for them to talk shit to talk shit from. These are there's no way in hell the same person that was sitting up there with Joe Budden and the Migos when shit was finna pop off with Joe Budden and the Migos, this nigga was sitting there quiet as hell, not knowing what to do. And he wasn't even the one that was in the hot seat. Akademiks is scary. He's not gonna do this in real life. I know that much. But let's finish this video real quick.
You're basically saying, hey, police, here's the evidence if I ever do anything to this guy. So I had to realize this guy is nothing but an internet thug. But then I realized why I was down 0-3 from the last time. He's a troll just like me. So I realized one important thing. I was taking this nigga too serious. He wasn't going to do anything. It's Freddie Gibbs. He's never done anything in his goddamn life. He's been a victim, if anything, okay? He got shot at, gave a statement. His father's the police. He probably told his father, like, hey, listen, go investigate this shit. Niggas are shooting at me. For all we know, this guy could be a goddamn undercover officer. His father was one. What the fuck? So what I realized, and I'm so proud of myself for this, because I took it in a much lighter-hearted stance, and I'm just clowning the whole thing out. You know what I mean? He's still trying to send threats, and again, you know, obviously I take every threat serious, but this is just a goofy trolling for attention. That's it. It's goofy trolling for attention. He eventually told me that he wants, labels pay for your promotional attention. So if I could troll you and get it for free, like I'm winning. And I looked at him and I said, well, if you feel like me telling the whole world that you're not who you are saying in your raps and that you're a fraud is me promoting you, okay, you've won. But it's sad that in 2021, the gangster rappers and rappers like Freddie Gibbs feel they have no other outlet other than to troll internet dweebs or bloggers for attention. Again, if it works, good for him. I just don't think it's gonna work. Regardless, Freddie Gibbs, man, I had to check out as soon as you asked me what that mouth do. Brother, you're 40, okay, you're balding, you literally look like a milk dud, you look like Lil Bill. You should have said that like when you're tweeting out 2013 Charlemagne-esque jokes. Like, I realize you're burnt out, brother, okay? And then he later said that, yo, you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna see you. That's what you should have done in the beginning, dummy. You should have said that to yourself in the mirror 3 times and not tweet it out. But you look stupid because you went on Twitter trying to be a tough guy, and you never thought that the person who you felt was the least threatening to you would ever tell you, shut the fuck up and do it. Okay? Again, if this is a lesson to anyone, just don't overplay your hands, because somebody will call you bluff. All right? Anyway.
Now, he was very confident in that. And this is why I say you have to be careful as a person that really isn't about that life and letting your ego take over. Now, like I said in the beginning of this motherfucking show, if somebody says something to you and provokes you, you have every right to respond. Akademiks had every right to respond to Freddie Gibbs when Freddie said something about him. How he responded was with a challenge. Grown men who challenge somebody and I'm gonna give you some logic. Let me ask y'all, because last time I had to put this logic out there for the people that was here defending what Ak is saying. Let me give y'all some logic real quick. If Akademiks, right, is talking about somebody standing on their words and rapping about shit and not doing the shit that they say they're gonna do, and that he's going to fly out to LA to prove this, to prove that Freddie Gibbs is not about what he raps about, will you, and I'm talking about if this actually happens, if he actually flies out to LA specifically for Freddie Gibbs like he said he would. This is Akademiks' words. He said he's going to do this and he plans on doing this. So you got to hold my man to his words, right? If he does this and Freddie Gibbs shows up and does something to Akademiks because Akademiks has invited that, and Akademiks calls the police, how will you feel about Akademiks? And I'm not even talking about from a gangster standpoint or nothing. This has nothing to do with the streets. This has to do with being a man. When a man calls out a man and tests a man and tries to tell him that he wants that man to prove to him the shit that he says, do you respect that person for calling the police if he gets his ass handed to him? Answer that question. Because at this point, I would love to have them negotiate a meetup. To at least throw fisticuffs. Hey, smoking on banana mints. All right. Eternal said if Gibbs was really about that life, he'd handle act, but we all know he's not gonna do shit. Now, Eternal, if something happens, then what? Would that make him a lame, or would that make him stupid? I asked that question earlier. Answer that. How do you feel? If something actually happened to Act and it was due to Freddie Gibbs, then how would you feel? Young Ray said, I don't even think he will. He say that because y'all say he will. No, Akademiks volunteered that information. Didn't nobody say Akademiks go fly out to LA and meet up with him. He said that shit. Exactly. Ricky said, that's wild. If anything happened to Act while he's out there, Freddie or not, the police going to look at Freddie, which I don't think Akademiks paid attention to. The people that want to do some shit and the people that's about that life that have been waiting for an opportunity to get at Act can now use the Freddie Gibbs excuse. AKA, hey, whenever this guy's in LA, let's take the chance to do something to him or try to get something done to him because it won't even be put back on us. That'll be on Freddie. I don't know. If I was a smart street nigga, I'd do that. If I had a problem with somebody and all the attention was on one guy. To live and die in LA is real. Take that ass whooping like a G, but you call the police, you'll get clowned for eternity. I don't know. Shout out to Pedro for the 199. Young Rain said, hell no. If Act get beat up, I'll be like he didn't back down, but I'd even say, damn, all that mouth. Hey, that's real shit, though. Eternal said, if it's were a fifth, we'd all be drunk. GMS, Gibbs won't do shit. Okay, you can say he won't do shit. I'm not saying he will or won't. I'm just saying, giving people's past who has done shit and what's confirmed as people doing shit. There's a record of Freddie Gibbs doing shit in the streets. There's a record of Akademiks talking shit behind his computer. That's all. That's all I'm saying. He said, but y'all act like Freddie didn't tweet he couldn't kill him or are y'all for real? It gotta be some real G's in the chat. It doesn't matter what Gibbs said. People gotta understand, Freddie Gibbs, I can tell you don't follow Freddie. Freddie's whole entire social media presence is all jokes, bro. All jokes. That's one thing people don't get when they're like, man, how could you, if you say you're gonna kill a man? Freddie's entire Instagram, entire Twitter is all jokes, all trolling, all bullshit. The nigga has fun all day, 24/7. Act fell for it, being a self-proclaimed troll himself. He's the one that got put out of his body and started going crazy. This nigga, Freddie Gibbs, is just tweeting back now at this point. Getting a rise out the dude. He said it's a record of Gibbs' pops being the police. Why do y'all care so much about his dad being the police? Like that dictated what he did out there. Like I said, it's so easy. That is so easy to look up the record. It's so easy. Just look it up. Look up his name. That's all I ask. He said, now somebody gets it. KCO gets it. He gets it. He said, why can't Freddie say that to another rapper, though? Ak's not a rapper. What the fuck? Doesn't matter who he said it to. He said it to Ak. And Ak and him have known beef. And Ak was just in L.A., so why not fucking talk about that shit? He wanted to. Matter of fact, Freddie has talked about other rappers before. Plenty of other rappers before. Name drop motherfuckers before. In songs and not in songs. Laura said, you a whole how out here trying to tell a man how yo handle his beef because you don't like Jim. Freddie ain't bout that life, but you up here acting like he is. You a clown. Learn how to spell, Lord. You said a whole bunch of gibberish. Niggas get mad and start shaking. Trying to type. What is wrong with you? Type coherently. Be like the other people too, and and learn how to talk with some respect. The people that are disagreeing with me in the chat, we actually fuck with each other. There's a difference. There's people that are disagreeing in the chat that I fuck with. They're not here to troll and to talk shit. I actually have respect for people. Millie said, what's going to happen is more Freddie tweets, more will keep telling him go spin on Ak will clown him. Yeah, it's a revolving door, actually. You're actually right. And I don't think his image is going to suffer at all with people that all of a sudden now think that publicity is bad publicity now, that somebody notable is mentioning somebody else that's notable. Y'all lost your mind to think that this is going to ruin or suffer, or he will suffer his image loss. Freddie has been performing in fucking festivals. Goddamn, Ak's fan base didn't go to Freddie Gibbs concerts before this. Why would they start now? Think about it. That's not his fan base. That's not his fan base. Ak's fan base is not Freddie's fan base. Why do you think that it's hurting Freddie Gibbs right now? Oh my God. I'm trying to read what y'all said. But let me let this guy. Matter of fact, I spent a lot of time on this. All right. I had other topics. We had to talk about some other shit too. All right. We have to talk about some other shit too. I know this topic is interesting. I know y'all have a lot to say about it. But we have to move on. We spent 50 fucking 3 minutes on this shit talking about Akademiks and Freddie Gibbs. All we can do now is just wait and see what happens. All right, everybody, all you can do is wait and see what happens. If something doesn't happen, which I believe most likely won't, people are going to try to call Freddie Gibbs a lame. And if something did happen, people are going to call Freddie Gibbs a lame. It's a lose-lose situation. Akademiks, one day, though, may get tested. I don't know by who, but security doesn't last forever, and security will not protect you all the way. That's all I'm saying. And that's for everybody. That goes for everybody. Because y'all see what happened to a lot of these rappers out here that can afford security, man. One day you will be caught slipping. That goes for everybody. That goes for an Ak. That goes for Freddie. That goes for everybody. That's why I stay the fuck out of the way and I don't let my ego drive me. That's one thing I want y'all to learn from this. Don't let your ego drive you to do some stupid shit. Shout out to Just Acting for the 10. He said, I appreciate your content, bro, especially the 5150 commentary. Where can I grab your beats from? You can go and get them. Somebody put a link in the comments. Put one of the Bandcamp links in the comments so that my guy can check out the GMS beats. Appreciate you, man. All right. Megan Thee Stallion, let me cover this real quick. Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. Of course, you guys know what's been going on in this situation. Allegedly, Tory Lanez allegedly was the shooter of Meg Thee Stallion's heel, her foot. He professes his innocence. She claims that he did do it. Ever since that has happened, these two individuals have both respectively lived their lives, continue to live their lives, continue to make music, continue to be entertainers. Nothing has stopped since then. And of course, the media in a biased way reports on a lot of the things that they feel is politically correct in a way. And they reported on this story saying Tory Lanez, unable to reach a plea deal in alleged Megan Thee Stallion shooting case, will have to give live testimony. He is facing nearly 23 years. He tweeted and then deleted the tweet because, of course, he's dealing with legal issues. But Tory Lanez responded to the report saying, the wording of this is amazingly inaccurate. I wasn't able, quote unquote, to do anything. They offered what they offered, so I wouldn't go to trial, and I declined. It's very simple. And no, I will not be giving any live testimony. Please report real news and accurate facts. So, you got to understand, this is why I wanted to cover this real quick. This is why I want to talk about this before I move to the last insane thing. Because the last thing I want to talk about, y'all, I don't know if y'all heard about it, but be prepared to have y'all minds blown. Anyway, let me get this out the way. Ever since this shit happened, nobody knows, and people have been on the fence of whether or not they believe that this man actually shot Megan Thee Stallion. There was a point where it was such a bizarre story and so wild of a story, so random that you couldn't help but to believe that something like this happened. Until time passed and the way that certain individuals were moving, i.e. Tory Lanez, he wasn't moving like a guy that just shot a woman in her feet. Now, there are good actors out there. And I will say this. There's only two reasons why he is still moving the way that he's moving today after something this big has happened in his life. Either he's completely psychotic or he's actually innocent of what happened. And that's all I really can say about this situation. All I know is that I hope both these individuals figure this situation out. I hope that this man wasn't the type of person to just shoot somebody in the foot, especially a woman, for no damn reason. But we'll see. We got to wait for more information to come out. But the media has to stop twisting the narrative when it comes to people to try to sway opinion and to create a narrative around somebody, especially when they don't know if somebody's innocent or not. You can put a certain title up, you can put a caption up, whatever the fuck you want to, and then you'll have a public opinion be swayed for a person to have this image about a person, and next thing you know, they be innocent of whatever crimes they were accused of, and it wouldn't even matter at that point because too many people already believe this shit about them. So that's all I'm saying about that. Now, we have to get to this shit, man. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not bluffing. This really happened. This actually fucking happened here in America. I'm not lying to you. In downtown Dallas, in Texas, right? There was a meeting of what people like to call QAnon. There were QAnon members, a.k.a. ravaged Trump supporters, insane Trump supporters. They all met up. And do you want to know what they met up for? Let me show you what they met up for. Trust me, you will lose your motherfucking mind. There is currently a large crowd of what appears to be QAnon believers at the AT&T Discovery Plaza in downtown Dallas. A popular QAnon theory recently is that JFK Jr. of the Kennedy family will be making a big announcement at Dealey Plaza by the grassy knoll sometime tomorrow. It progressed. Watch. I just got to Dealey Plaza. We'll be contributing to an article about the gathering of the Daily Beast. Keep an eye out. Crowd is now significantly larger as we get closer to the time when JFK Jr. will ostensibly make his announcement. Now we have more people outside. I don't know who the hell Brandon is, but holy shit. 12 minutes until the big reveal, and there are more people outside. Holy shit. Now we have more motherfuckers outside. The time has passed at 12:29. The crowd recited the Pledge of Allegiance. No JFK Jr. yet. Can you believe it? Look at the size of this crowd.
Ready to go.
Amazing. All these people are waiting for a dead man. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? I shit you not. All these people outside right now. This was on a, what was this? Was this Tuesday, I believe? November 2nd. That was November 2nd. Yeah, that was Tuesday. On a Tuesday afternoon, you know, the same people that will look at a Black Lives Matter crowd and be like, don't these people have jobs? Look at all these people outside. Don't they have jobs to get to? Now we talking about people that's protesting police brutality. All you motherfuckers are outside on a Tuesday afternoon waiting for a dead man to resurrect and run as a mate for the 2024 elections. You want somebody to resurrect a whole 3 years before the election even comes through. Now, it's funny because after the whole insurrection shit happened on January 6th, everybody was like, all right, no, calm down, you guys. It's okay. We stormed the Capitol. We made our message, but it's okay because Q said that Donald Trump is going to be elected back president on March. March came, ain't shit happened. Now you got people out here telling me that somebody's finna come back from the dead to run as a running mate in 2024. You telling me that the spirits have decided to reveal for the first time ever in life somebody coming back from the dead, and it ain't Jesus, it's JFK Jr. and he's running with Donald Trump to make America great again. Are you fucking crazy? And it's funny because, so I posted this clip. I posted a video clip on my channel, I don't know, a few months ago, of this lady talking about the Candace Owens situation where Candace was denied a service to get tested or whatever. I've had countless amounts of Candace Owens fans on that video in the comments going crazy. And the one thing they love to do is talk about the left and how crazy the left is. And the left is so nuts, and the left, all they do is thinking about they're so irrational, and the left this, the left that. Hey, go call your granny because she outside somewhere in Dallas waiting for a dead man to come back. Don't talk to me about what I believe in when you motherfuckers is outside waiting for a ghost. That shit is funny as hell. Let's listen to some of
Tell
that.
nothing but the truth to help them God. Or should I say help them Satan?
Let's go fake news. Let's go fake news. Let's go fake news. Yeah.
Imagine staring at a news publication and saying fake news after just being given the news from the QAnon motherfuckers that a dead man was coming back to life. Imagine having the saying fake news when all of you are outside right now because of somebody random with no face, no identity told you to go there because a dead man was going to resurrect. Get out my face. You motherfuckers are nuts. That's crazy. That is the definition of crazy. Think about that. Look at this crazy shit.
Did we land on the moon? Did we land on the moon?
Listen to their chants. Motherfuckers be outside talking about Black Lives Matter, stop police brutality, stop all this other shit. You motherfuckers, did we land on the moon? Niggas don't have shit to fight for. Niggas don't, none of this shit is worth anything. No, that's not, don't blame Christianity. Don't blame anything else. Blame insanity. That's insanity. They follow a page that doesn't have somebody's face or their identity telling them to gather at a park to wait for a dead man to resurrect. You can't tell me that the person running QAnon isn't the biggest, most successful troll in America. Please understand. The biggest troll in America is the man who started QAnon, and I have to give him his props. This is amazing. This is amazing. The last gathering that was set up by somebody who nobody knew, the last large gathering was on a beach. I believe it was in Florida. I think it was Florida. Remind me where it was. Somewhere in Florida, they had somebody tweet that there was a big party happening on the beach. Hundreds of people showed up. Now you got this goofy shit happening. And these people actually believe in this shit. They actually believe that this shit really was real. They really thought that JFK Jr. was coming back. Yeah, that's where JFK got shot. And they thought JFK Jr. was finna resurrect. You can't tell me that's not batshit crazy. I had to end it on that note because that shit was wild. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. Niggas out there saying fake news and they was waiting for a dead man. Oh, you can't get no better than that. GMS fam, the Green Room. Another good episode, man. I appreciate everybody who popped up today, who participated in the chat. GMS fam, the Green Room. You know what time it is. If you did not do it, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell on your way out. Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Hit me on my Cash App today if you are feeling generous. GMS fam, I would appreciate the support so kindly. And also, if you didn't participate in the chat, now is your time. Put a GMS in the chat right now. I'm going to shout you out. I'm shouting out everybody. As a matter of fact, scrap the GMSs. Scrap the GMS. Don't put the GMS. Shout out where you from. Shout out where you from, and I'm going to shout you out. All right? Shout out where you from. I don't want no GMSs. Don't put the GMSs in the chat. Shout out where you from. and I'ma shout you out. Rep your city, rep your state, and I'ma show you some love. All right, shout out where you from. Let's see. I see you, Aboriginal T. Raining from Texas. We got business in the building from New Jersey. Where y'all from, man? Samajin calling in from Santa Clarita, California. Supreme Mathematics. Peace God from VA. Eternal Umber from the Shy. Y'all right next door to Gary, Indiana. That's probably why you don't fuck with Gibbs. You probably beefing with them niggas. You probably beefing with the vice lords and shit. I'm just fucking with you. Shout out my guy Zim Master from Portland. Just Acting from London, UK. Put that beat tape link back in for Just Acting. Shout out to you for the 10-2, by the way. Arius hailing in from Minneapolis, KP. Queen Kales from Compton. A real Queen G in the building. Ralph S from Atlanta, Georgia. JJ calling in from Little Italy, New York. The one calling in from Glendora. Wonder Man in Seattle. Hold on, let me choose another beat. I got another beat in here, man. Let's choose Remy. Rico YouTube calling in from Memphis. DC in the building. Realist Johnson, Alexander, VA. Mickey Knox, Northside, Minneapolis. Swag from the past, calling in from the Shy. Pedro's thoughts. He said he's from R. Kelly's basement, man. You better run. That nigga been locked up. Why you still down there? Shit. Dewan Isaacs. Really? You from Nigeria? Oh, shit. Goat Man Genetics from Boston. Somebody get to the authorities to R. Kelly's basement. We got to get Pedro's thoughts out of there. I don't like that. I don't like that you there. I'm surprised that nigga still got Wi-Fi. They would have been bled that nigga out already. All his funds is gone. Hey, shout out to Just Acting for the 5. Appreciate you. Shout out to everybody that sends the super chats and everybody that sends the cash apps, man. I really do appreciate it a lot. Jay Monte in the building. Brimdog in the building. Respect to the motherland. That's where my nigga Olafambu's from, but he been acting up lately and I can't fuck with him. Trey 979. He's still there because he liked it. He waiting for the sweet return. He said, "You back, Pied Piper?" Will Major the second. Hey, I'm about to pack a pinch. Oh, it's already packed. There we go. Let me go ahead and smoke this shit, man. Hey, GMS fam, the Green Room. I really hope y'all have a wonderful motherfucking day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. If not for my show, I will see you for the 3Gs podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the 3Gs podcast. Check us out 8 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night. Aboriginal T, shout out to you for the 5, man. He said, great show, GMS. Always appreciated, my guy. Aboriginal T in the building. That is a habitual pull-upper. One of the original GMS fams in the building, man. Appreciate you, my guy. Damn, he said all he got is crackers and bologna down there. Run. Run, man. You have to run. You have to try to find a way out. He's locked up. Try to break some shit. If it's locked on the outside, I don't know, man. Wedge something through it. I don't know what access you have to down there in the basement, man, but try to find a way out, bro. I'm going to try to get out there. Are you in Chicago? What state are you in? Do you know what state you in? Or were you brought there with a sheet over your head or some type of contraption that stopped you from knowing where you were at? Tell us, Pedro. And if you have Wi-Fi, you shouldn't be here. You should be calling the proper authorities. All right? It's very stupid. Why are you here watching this? You should be commenting on a Cops Now YouTube page and saying, hey, I'm in the basement of Robert Kelly and I need to be evacuated immediately. No, you didn't. Hold on. Let me see. That's a lie. That would have been trending. This nigga Zen said RIP Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen ain't dead. All right, GMS fam. Oh shit, he in Atlanta. Oh Lord, he in Atlanta. Somebody go help him. If you live in Atlanta, please go to one of Robert Kelly's old residences and check the basement. All right, GMS fam, we out.